All right, so going to be doing my review of Predator: Killer of Killers. This is the Netflix, almost a Netflix, Hulu exclusive movie that I thought I still had a Hulu account, so I had to make a new one for this. So I was like, all right, basically paying for a movie ticket. Here we go. Anyway, so Predator: Killer of Killers it was a movie I was really excited for, and again, I really do have to stress that it's so cool that we're living in a world where, as much as this year has sucked so far, and it's only 6 months in, um, what I really like about this is that we're getting two Predator projects and an Alien movie. I mean, Alien TV series in the span of 1 year, months apart even. And I was really excited for this because I really wanted to see what animation would do, what Dan Trachtenberg would be able to do with the Predator franchise, animated and all of these timelines. So yeah, let's get started with the review. So I have a lot of positives for this movie. Now, real quick, and I'll get into why this is that did I like it like Prey and Killer of Killers? Like, where do they stand for me? I think I still like Prey a bit more because it's more of the story as well as like its themes, and I think and also I like the ending way more. I'll get to that in a bit, but yeah, let's talk about all the positives of this movie. And I'm not going to give away any spoilers for this film. And if you're wondering why this isn't on Patreon exclusive, because this was a streaming movie. That's why. Anyway, getting back on topic. Predator: Killer of Killers. First off, this movie looks beautiful. This movie looks absolutely like gorgeous. I love the animation. I love also the camera work in the animation. I don't know if that makes sense. I love the set pieces. It's very atmospheric in points, and it all feels like. What I really like is that even though it's the same animation, it all feels distinct. Like each timeline, whether it be like the Age of Vikings, Samurai, or World War II, those movies. I mean, those timelines. I've got a headache? Those timelines all feel very distinct, even though they have the same animation. Also, for a 90-minute movie, yeah, this movie is like an hour and a half long. It puts a lot. Like, it feels longer, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It just kind of shows of like how good the pacing of this movie is that it's able to tell like basically 4 stories in essentially a 90-minute runtime. And I'm like, wow, this was that's what I found amazing, is that this film was able to do so much in so little time. And we've seen that before in other like we saw that with Spider-Verse and a few other times, but it's nice to see like a lot of animated movies this day and age are still finding a way to like not feel rushed. And this was a good case. And hopefully this leads to, Jason said it best, because Jason saw it last night and I saw it today as of this recording. Jason said it best, is that I hope the next thing they do, hopefully this does good enough numbers to not only get a sequel, but also do an Alien animated film. Like, I would love to see this the same animation group and maybe Fede Alvarez do an Alien animated film. Maybe not with timelines and whatnot, but like but like the same animation stuff doing that. And I was so worried. Like, I'm so glad the animation is not from What If. I would have not touched this movie if it was the What If animation or crew or what have you. But yeah, the action set pieces are absolutely solid. There are some great fights, even without the Predator in there. And I think what's best is that all 3 of these timelines feel like a perfect Predator movie in their own right, in that, it's a story, like an action movie, like Sal from Comic Pop said it best, where the best kind of Predator movies are like the action movie no one has seen. Everyone's seen the action movie before, but then the Predator shows up. Like the story of Ursa, she's a shield maiden looking for revenge on the man who killed her father alongside her war party and her son. Then a Predator shows up. The samurai era, I don't know, I forget the ninja's name, but a ninja and a samurai brother are, have an old rivalry that are looking to settle the score. And then a Predator shows up. The story of Torres. The story of Torres, a World War II pilot who's dealing with self-doubt and wanting to fly again. And then a Predator shows up. Like, that's... Like, it's all perfect setup. And again, all of those timelines feel like they all feel like really natural of how they flow into each other. There is an overarching story, and I'll get to that in a bit, but like, again, the fight sequences, even when the Predator's not there, are solid. Like Ursa's like fight with the shields when she's breaking into the like fortress. Wow. There's also a great fight between the two brothers in the samurai era. That's really done well, and it also makes you forget for one second. Like, there's a quick glimpse of the Predator, like invisible. It's almost like the camera was, the Predator's like, "Hey, I'm still here. Don't worry. You'll see me in a bit." But when the Predator does show up, holy shit! Like when the Predators, the three distinct Predators, do show up, it is fucking brutal. Especially like the Berserker Predator. The stealth Predator is really cool. I think that's what they're calling it. I don't know what they're calling the one in the ship. I've heard Pilot Predator or Pirate Predator. I've heard two things, so I'm just going to call it the Pilot Predator. Pilot Predator is cool. I like the induction of the ship and how they utilize it in this air combat. That was really cool. But I also really think the World War II, like, there's no weak point in the timelines. There's no weak point, but I will say it's also really cool, real quick. I find it cool that Michael Biehn, who does the voice of Captain Vanderberg, Michael Biehn, minor spoiler here, Michael Biehn now joins a very exclusive cast to get the Triple Crown of being killed by an alien, Terminator, and Predator. The only other two people who have done that are Bill Paxton and Lance Henriksen. So now we can add Michael Biehn to that list. Being killed, and I know someone's gonna say, "Oh, but he wasn't killed by an alien." And no, he was killed in cryosleep by a xenomorph in Alien 3. It fucking counts. Anyway, so now Michael Biehn gets to earn the Triple Crown of death. Yeah. So all of that's really good. The animation's really solid, but here's my issue with the movie. My biggest issue with the movie: the overarching story of like going to the homeworld and fighting each other. That's when I feel like the third act of this movie kind of like weakens this movie on a whole for me, because then it gets a little MCU-ish for me. Like the jokes, all the characters suddenly like bonding in the matter of 20 minutes, like they're calling each other brother, or you know, my war band, or my sons. I'm like, that's a little too fast. You guys are just trying to kill each other in a bit. Also, like a lot of the jokes don't stick, and it feels very MCU-ish. Like, I don't know if Trachtenberg like had any say in that, but that third act, while it was cool to see more of the Predator homeworld, especially like the War Chieftain, but how they fight him and everything else, it really does feel like it's a shaky landing for the movie at the end. It's a very like, I don't think you stuck the landing with this overarching story. But I do find it cool that like, cool in the sense that like, wow, we were doing that, of having the whole thing that Predators do take worthy trophies and put them in cryosleep for decades only to hunt them later. That was taking a page right out of Predator the Preserve, that god-awful Ed Brisson, from that god-awful Ed Brisson Marvel Predator run, which I thought was the one cool thing that I liked, and how it tied into Predators. So yeah, ending aside, this was a really solid movie. I think there's a lot of great action. The characters are all great. And all of these movies could stand on their own, even without Predators. It's just that third act really and I understand that, yeah, it's to showcase more of the universe that we're going to see in Badlands. And I am excited for Badlands. It's just this whole ending thing felt a little too like modern Star Wars mixed with MCU. And I'm not worried that if that's going to translate to Badlands. I understand what Badlands is trying to do. Here, it's just like, I feel like we didn't know how to end this, and we just threw this together. Anyway, having said all that, this is a really solid Predator movie. I still really liked it, and God, Disney, please, for the love of God, put this on physical media. I want to have a Blu-ray of this, please. Is that too much to ask? Like, to get a physical copy of this? Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Predator Killer of Killers? Do you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time, the Multiverse.